Begin in the presidential villa, where President Bola Tinubu is expected to decorate the new service chiefs later today. The newly appointed military chiefs were screened and confirmed by the Senate on Wednesday after answering questions bordering on national security and also articulating their strategy in developing new security architecture that will enhance the safety of the lives and property. The appointment of the service chiefs was announced following a shakeup in the military hierarchy on the 24th of October. The president charges the newly appointed service chiefs to justify the confidence reposed in them to further enhance the professionalism, vigilance, and comradeship that define the armed forces of Nigeria. TVC News State House correspondent Femi Akonde is live for us. The president is set to decorate the newly appointed service chiefs. What is the significance of this ceremony in Nigeria's military and political context?
Well, this means that, all has been cleared and all checks have been done and they are ready to assume their new positions as service chiefs, the chief of defense staff, chief of army staff, chief of the air staff, and chief of naval staff. They will be decorated with their new ranks. That's the ranks for the new offices that they have been appointed into. Before now, the chief of army staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oloyede, he will now be decorated with a rank higher than that. Likewise for the chief of army staff, chief of the air staff, and the chief of naval staff. President Bola Tinubu will also again give them a charge to go and ensure that security in the country is improved, ensure that they are on top of their game in tackling emerging security threats and all kind of criminality going on across or around the country. We saw their screening yesterday at the Senate and the House of Representatives. We also heard from these service chiefs talking about the strategies that they will deploy in ensuring that there is safety of lives and property in the country. A lot will be expected from them, and President Bola Tinubu will also expect to hold their feet to the fire. Just like their predecessors, if they are found wanting also, we believe that President Bola Tinubu will still be able to wield the big stick and let them off and also bring new people, inject new impetus. So there's a lot expected of them after after the decoration. Now, they're expected to hit the ground running.
Femi, morale among troops and public confidence in the military have fluctuated over the last few years. What must the new leadership do differently to rebuild trust?
Well, they'll be taking directive from the president and commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He will be the one to point them in the direction to go. They would also, be briefing him regularly. They know what it takes and what it requires to boost our morale, ensure professionalism within the Nigerian armed forces. I believe all of that, they would also present that to President Bola Tinubu, and it's expected that as Commander-in-Chief, he's going to give that directive. They also pointed out some of that to the National Assembly yesterday. They talked about how expensive it is to ensure security, especially in the purchase of military hardware. So we also expect that the National Assembly will be able to support them significantly in ensuring budgetary approvals and also timely release of funds for President Bola Tinubu. So we're expecting to give directives to government agencies like the Ministry of Finance, the Office of Budget and Economic Planning, and all other relevant government agencies to ensure that when it comes to the matter of security, funds are made available, because it's indeed a serious business, and the primary responsibility of every government is the security of lives and property. President Bola Tinubu, as Commander-in-Chief, will give that charge today after decorating them with their new ranks.
Femi, you remember that adage, when a new sheriff is in town, something different happens. Do you think this new leadership team can change the narrative in the fight against insurgency, banditry, and other violent crimes?
Well, every leadership comes with its new style. When we had just the immediate past leadership in the armed forces, in the hierarchy of the Nigerian army, there was also a significant improvement in security in parts of the country, particularly in the northeast and, of course, some parts of the northwest and indeed the northeast. We have seen, we saw a reduction in terrorist attacks, even though there are pockets of attacks here and there. It's not yet uhuru for them. But we also expect the new service chiefs to consolidate on the gains of their predecessors moving forward and ensure that, in the areas where they feel they properly, they properly put all the pitfalls, all the missteps that their predecessors might have taken. They put all of that into cognizance and ensure that this time, it's a whole society approach, not just for the army, but to also ensure that their engagement with the civilian population is improved, because it will help enhance intelligence gathering for them, and also ensure that before most of these crimes are committed, they get wind of it and stop it in its tracks. Ademola.
Thank you very much, Femi Akonde from State House, giving us updates.